it's those scenes are always really tough because there's so much going on and there's so many special effects and we had, brilliant special effects artists there, Heather and Ryan, where tubes are going into the mouth, but then, we're working with Margaret Ann in certain moments, who's is an amazing actress and so lovely to work with. But so we're like, we're working with Margaret Ann, and then all of a sudden we're working with just a dummy and someone shaking the dummy. So there's a lot of like moving pieces and trying to shoot it in such a way that's like you have to shoot it chronologically, but also get the moments you need. So it was definitely a very complex scene altogether, even prior that, but the death specifically in that sequence, that the death scene, is intense. It's intense because you are, even though it's filmmaking and it's the illusion that it's really happening, you are working with real people who, Lauren's really tied in that chair because Lauren like broke out of that chair with tape on her arms because she was like really going at it. And Lauren's also the type of performer that even if the camera's not on her, she's giving everything she can for the other people in the scene. So it's very intense. So you're having Lauren who's performing to her best of her to the best, and then Margaret Ann as well, who's emotional and you're doing all these really intense actions. And then you have these rats and they're adorable. They're really cute, but they're also, shitting all over you. And you have
Oh
like,
yeah.
and for me, I had only like two costumes. So I had like, or one actually specifically for that scene. So it was definitely a lot, but it was really done really well. And each person was very mindful of what each individual was going through. But very technical. These scenes are very technical, so it's kind of hard to process what you're actually doing
Yeah.
to the person until you're watching the film, and then you're like, and even just the way in which Damien incorporates the sound and like I love when
Oh yeah.
oh when
That's one of
David
the worst parts is the sound design.
the
When
sound well, oh but also like the sound when David like hits down and then it starts that whole sequence and that music and the sound design comes in, all of it. But to your point, that scene is so brutal and it's so cruel because I know Damien always wanted to bring it back to the original and darker and even grittier. And there is a lot of levity with Art the Clown, but with my character specifically, she's just pure evil and she
yeah.
gets like she's a sadist through and through. And so it's kind of bringing it down and going to the extreme to break down Lauren, Sienna, Lauren's character, Sienna, um, because that's the whole point. Let's weaken her so that I can ultimately possess her.
Yeah.
But a lot of moving pieces and a lot of, even for production design and art department, Olga Turka and her crew, they were unbelievable. Trying to reset, set, and get all this done. But somehow we did it, and we didn't have a lot of days to do it. So,
Yeah.
because they
I
had a
mean,
whole other part of that scene in a chainsaw fight to get through, and we didn't have a lot of time. So,